Hi guys, good morning, welcome back to the channel. You're back with Darren at Green Pro Clean. Today's video is an insight into my past. It is a glimpse into way back 40 plus years ago. It is a quick look at why none of this matters whatsoever. Now, I'm going to share with you today something very personal to me. It's my oldest possession in the world. I do not own anything that is older than this possession, and that even includes some of my teeth. So let me bear with me, let me bear with me, let you bear with me. Bear with me one second, here we go. It's this envelope right here. This one that says Mrs. P.A. Green on it. Now Mrs. P.A. Green to you is Mrs. P.A. Green. To me, it's mother. Now, what's in here? It says right here on the top of the envelope, Darren's school reports. Dum dum dum. Now, the philosopher Floyd once said, "We don't need no education." Well, he's not going to get an A in English for a statement like that, and I certainly never got an A in English. The only thing I ever got an A plus in was a blood test. But anyhow, let's move forwards. The reason I'm sharing my school reports with you today is, it is important to me, and I want to put this information out there, and I'm kind of hoping that you will share this video, that you will share this information, not only with your friends, your social media pages, etc., but with your kids. Because right now with the COVID lockdowns, the new normal, hang on, I forgot my comments there, the new normal and all of that jazz, the topic of education is quite vital. And I want people to know where I came from, who I am. So I'm gonna start here very quickly. And just to prove this to you, just to show you we ain't kidding, this goes way back to 1979, down on the bottom there, July of 79, Platte Douay School in Jersey. This is my primary school years, man. This is some of the most formative years of my life. What I'm going to throw down here, I'm not going to read them all to you, of course. I'm not going to bore you to death like that. I'm just going to give you the highlights. And so a quick look. Let's start in 79. Darren settled down well in his new class in September of 78. He does, however, have a rather lethargic attitude towards his schoolwork. I never feel he stretches himself to his full ability, and no amount of coercion on my part changes his attitude. Then on the next one, it's Darren still has a lethargic attitude to schoolwork, and much coercion is needed to persuade him. Yeah. So obviously, lethargic and coercion were the buzzwords of the late 70s, early 80s into the new decade. The one thing there's two things I truly remember from primary school. One was watching the launch of the space shuttle back in the 80s. We were all sitting on the floor. I think I was probably a third year by then. We're all sitting on the floor, one small TV. It's kind of like when you see historic footage of people watching the moon landings. That's one thing I remember about primary school. The other thing was my last year of primary school, and this is the woman that wrote the report. Now, it says here, attitude towards work and amount of effort given to it remaining consistent. Oh well, such is life. Language. Speech is very pleasant manner of speaking. Thank you very much. And always ready to lead a discussion. Written work still dislikes this activity, but has improved. Mathematics. Darren can work very well in this subject, but he needs a formal situation in which he's aware of the teacher's supervision in order to concentrate. In short, I didn't want to get busted. Now, Anne Mosley. This lady was one sadistic SOB. She was horrible. She was the root of all evil. She traumatized me, even to this day. End of school, we were fourth years then, we were about to go on to secondary school. Christmas time, Christmas play, yada yada yada. I was just in the chorus, nothing special. She's walking along during rehearsals, listening to each child singing like this. I think we were rehearsing Silent Night. In fact, I know we were. And she's listening like this as she walks along, and she stops and says to me, "You're tone deaf, you just mime the words." Well, that kind of thing stays with a child for a long time. Let's move forward. There's definitely a reason that I'm going through this with you, so do bear with me. Stick it out to the end. It's going to be worth your while, I guarantee you. Here is my, I didn't even know I'd done this, 14 plus thingamabobby. I didn't even know we had them back then. I thought this was something reasonably modern. Here we go. Summary sheet, 14 plus profile. Can you tell what the scores are yet, kiddies? Now, as we can see here, let's have a look. English, below a G, whatever comes below a G, I don't know. Obviously I didn't do very good in English, so I couldn't tell you the rest of the alphabet. Mathematics, I got a G, an F and an E for some reason. Don't know why I got all three. Physics, a G and an F. Chemistry, same. Biology, same. French, G, F and E. It's funny because I am actually fluent in French. Don't know if that's just in the later years of my life. Geography, history, religious studies, well, below that as well, once again, not even on the board. And creative arts, way off. A level is possible target in the following subjects. Yeah, not gonna happen, man. Reason being, I disliked school. It was the worst years of my life, it really was. It was the worst years of my life. The reason I say it was the worst years of my life is quite straightforward. That's what it was. You'll see many people out there who go, oh yeah, school, best years of my life, awesome, love school, best years, bashing school. Let me just interject with a little observation there. Most people are out of school by 17, 18 at the latest. I was out a lot earlier than that. I was out just after 15. And a lot of people out there will be, oh yeah, in school I was this, in school I was that, in school I was that. In school I was absolutely nothing. I was a kid who used to bunk off and go smoke cigarettes down the lanes. Now, if the school years were the best years of your life and you've left school at 18 and you live to be 88, that's 70 years that's never going to be as good. 70 years it's going to be tragedy. Think about that. That's a very, very sad thing. Reminds me of the Springsteen song, Glory Days, where he meets his old friend from school. They go sit in the pub to have a pint, and all the guy can talk about is how he was the big quarterback during his school days. I guess a quarterback's probably like a striker or something in soccer. Football, real football. Shh, don't tell the Americans. But anyway, that's what it reminds me of. So if you are currently in school, you're having a great time, and this could be the best year of your life. But this is the last year of your life. Now, if you're 15 right now, you've only lived 15 years, so make this one count. 16 is going to be monster. 17 is going to be epic. Yeah, and on and on and on. 45, well, that's just going to be criminal, man. It's going to be like, whoa. So anyways, excuse the sound effects there. Let's move on to secondary school. I'm not going to bore you with any of this. Let's have a look. There's 86, there's 85, there's 80, 87. I think this is what we're looking for. But I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Anyway, yeah, too many musical references today. Let me jump straight into 87. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one I'm looking for. Haven't read these for a while, so bear with me. There's 2 pages in here I need to find quickly. This book kind of fell apart a little while ago. Here it is. A. Alexander, acting head. Now, I hope Darren is never asked by a prospective employer. For his last school report. I'd like to be able to say something good about him, but his attitude to life and to other people falls so far short of what is expected by society that I'm unable to do so. However, my best wishes go with him when he leaves school at the end of term. My attitude towards society. I don't give a damn about society. Stuff society. Society is not my problem. My problems are my problem. Do you know what I mean? What about society's attitudes towards me? Why don't they bend and cave and, do what I need them to do? Well, that's what she wrote. I hope Darren's never asked by a prospective employer for his last school report. I never was. Now, that was acting head. Headmaster. Hetna. He was a Scotsman. Don't know if you can read that chicken scratch there, but I have deciphered it. What a waste of 3.5 years of golden opportunity. Truly blame yourself, Darren, for not making the effort. What a waste of 3.5 years of golden opportunity. Truly blame yourself, Darren, for not making the effort. Okie dokie. Let's break that down now. Now, 3.5 years wasted of golden opportunity. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You made me sit through 3.5 years of hell to amuse yourselves, to keep yourselves occupied, because that's what you wanted. Now, by 11, I had 2 jobs. By 11, I had a job pumping gas at the petrol station at the weekends, and I also used to collect golf balls. That might sound funny, I used to collect golf balls. A local golf course not far from us had a brook running through it, shallow, only a couple of feet deep. And I used to nip down there, pop my shorts on, jump in the brook, wade the whole length of this thing, side to side, inch by inch, finding all the balls the golfers had lost. Then on a Saturday morning, Sunday mornings, I'd sit by the first tee and I'd sell them their golf balls back, and it was 4 good balls for £1, or five slightly scruffy balls for £1. And I used to make more with those 2 jobs in a week than my mother was earning doing her typical 40 hours worth of work a week as a single parent. And that was back in the early 1980s. Yet they were insisting that I should be getting this formal education instead. Not mother, she didn't really care what I was doing. I was a middle child of 3 boys from a single parent family. So yeah, mum didn't have much time to pay attention to what was going on. To the point where, I believe, there's a form in here somewhere. I've misplaced it. It's the one that says, are you concerned about your child's school reports? If so, complete this form. Here we go, it's still in the envelope. Yeah. Are you reading your child's reports? You might feel you would like to talk to one or more of your child's subject teachers. If so, please fill in the form and hand it in to your form tutor during your interview. As you can see, she never bothered. Now, she spoke to all of my older brother's teachers. Why? Well, because my older brother, he was the golden child. He was the one who got O-levels, and he even got 2 A-levels, and they still talk about this today. What did he do? He ended up working in a retail jewellery business on the island of Jersey since, well, he left school same year as me, 87. That noise is not propaganda, that's actually a guy driving past selling fish, announcing from the loudspeaker what he has for sale. Sorry about that. Me, since leaving school, kids, I've gone on to do quite an incredible life, to be honest. I have travelled the world and back many times over. I've lived in many countries. I've travelled to 6 out of 7 continents. Greenland doesn't really appeal to me, a little on the chilly side. I've worked and helped run businesses on 4 of those. I'm currently stuck in Southeast Asia. What am I doing in Southeast Asia at the moment? Well, because of the lockdowns, I ended up getting so bored and depressed towards the end of last year, we opened the water station. This water station, you can see these containers. Hang on, the camera's back to front here today. You see these containers here, everything's moving in reverse when I look down at my monitor. Those containers over there, those are what we provide to households in the area, providing fresh, clean, safe drinking water to a couple of thousand people in and around this city. And we do it at a quarter of the price anyone else formerly was able to do it for, or formerly did do it for. They were able to, they're just money diggers. If you wonder why I keep looking down, I'm just tucking my old reports back in this envelope. So there we go, that's set up. And we do it at a quarter of the price. It comes at cost though. It comes at costs of things like comments like, oh, you ought to be careful doing things like that. Surrogate can be a very dangerous place for foreigners, etc. They don't realise, the island of Mindanao, Surrogate del Norte, down here in the Philippines, can be a very dangerous place for foreigners, as is proven by, history. I have lived in worse places than this. I almost moved to Birmingham once. Poof, imagine what would have happened there. But anyhow, now the point about the education, the reason I'm sharing that with you is whilst I was a complete and utter academic failure, I consider myself to be a very well-educated person, and I'm educated in the things that were important to me, the things that mattered to me. Back then, at that age, my school was nothing but a sadistic cesspool of nihilistic teachers who, they were just pure evil. I googled my school, Le Roquier Secondary School in Jersey. I googled it a little while ago, popped up on the Wikipedia page. In fact, let me just pull that up so I can make accurate reference. Le Roquier School, and I need to find the wiki links. There we go. Now, the Roquier School ranked in the bottom 2% of schools in England and Wales. The bottom 2%, consistently, the bottom 2%. So it brings me to ask myself the question, was I actually a bad student? Was I a bad student? Or, wait for it, did I just go to a shit school with crap teachers that just didn't care? I'm kind of inclined in later life to sit back, reflect and think deeply and find out that it was actually the latter. In a BBC report, bear with me 1 second, the BBC report's right. No, that's the 2013 one. I can't quite find it at the moment. There was a BBC report that stated that if Jersey, Le Roquier School, was in the English and Welsh league tables, it would have rated 3rd worst in the country for GCSE results. I never sat my GCSE, so it don't matter to me, but it would have rated 3rd worst in the country. And there's a person, he's the head of education or something in Jersey, says the reason for the results findings is Jersey's highly selective approach to education. So in short, they're selecting the ones that they think might have the best chance of success, as opposed to just letting everybody have a go and let the chips land where they may, which may be a better approach. Some people do crap in the classroom, but test exceedingly well, but they don't get the chance. Notable alumni. Now you're going to like this because Ginger Ninja, if you followed this far, is a shout out to you, Mr. Garwood. He's a big soccer fan, as is Dave B. So shout out to both of you. But notable alumni, Curtis Guthrie. Curtis who, you might ask? Curtis Guthrie. He went on to play for Accrington Stanley, Southport, Bath City, Welling United, Forest Green Rovers, Colchester United, Stevenage, Bradford City and Port Vale, currently playing for Port Vale. Yeah, never heard of him, not a soccer fan. But I do know from listening to the Pools back in the day when my granddad used to play the Pools, they're not exactly Premier League teams now, are they? So, as well as old Curtis Guthrie there, the only other person was Serena Guthrie. Now, the only Serenas I know, there's 2 of them actually. One is a world-class tennis player, super famous, and the other was my psychopathic ex's sister. But this one, Serena Guthrie, actually went on to represent England, and that's no small thing in my book, but she represented them in netball. So there you have it. Now, when we talk about education, boys and girls, I am an educated man, but I educated myself in the things that matter to me. I became very well read. I started reading the things that mattered to me by people who mattered to me. I read and learnt what I needed to know. I studied my areas. I studied what I was doing, not just general information. So there's going to be a series coming up now on my YouTube channel, and it's going to be about the things I've read, the things I've learned, and what's made me the person I am, and why I do succeed at the things I do, regardless of what it is I choose to do. If I chose to open a bubblegum factory tomorrow, I can guarantee it would become a highly successful bubblegum factory, and it's all because of a few things, simple things I've learned. So my message to you out there, boys and girls, and to anyone who's still watching at this point, is what you're doing today in school with your education, etc. Why it may seem like a crisis right now, and that crisis is very real to you right now. Don't get me wrong. During my school years, we had a few crises, including the loss of 4 of my friends actually. 2 to suicide and 2 to a motorcycle accident. The motorcycle accident was even more tragic. They were brothers, so riding 2 up on the same bike. So yeah, that was, yeah. Anyway, so it's very real because it's your life. It's your life right now. So don't let me belittle that in any way. But follow this series if you can. Follow along with me. I'm going to be sharing with you the things that I've read, the books that I read, the things that I read, and where I learn how to do what I do. But not only that, it's how it gets dissected by my brain and makes me able to use that information in the right way. That may not make any sense to you whatsoever right now, but I promise you it will in the long run. So thanks for watching, boys and girls. I hope you find some interest to this. We don't need no education, Mr. Floyd. Yeah, we do, but just not an academic packed in a classroom school system method of education. That doesn't work. It's proven it doesn't work in many cases, and let's just get forward. All that a school is designed to do is to teach you how to follow orders and behave for society. Comments in the box below, questions in the box below. All questions will be answered with a video. All questions will be answered with a video. So pop them away. Oh, there's the fish seller propaganda man again. 45 pesos a kilo, not so bad today. Anyway, cracking on kids, I'm going to rock on. Thanks for watching, stay safe, ciao for now.